What's up, good people? Welcome to Screen Fiend. Now, let us talk. Early bird gets the worm. Let us talk. Hollywood is putting pressure. Finally, they're putting some bite down, saying, like, we have abided by your rules. We're making provisions, but we want the movie theaters opened up by July. July 1st, we want all movie theaters open, and we want to get back to business. That's Hollywood's demand. And the reason why, because yesterday they had a meeting and they're basically saying, look, we're going to come up with provisions. We're going to make sure only so many tickets are sold per theater. Not so many people can be in at certain periods of time. People are going to wear masks. Social distancing will be required in the movie theater as far as seats go. But what they want to do is get some of that revenue that's going in. As I told you before, this is how it works. They make money on concessions. Concessions, concessions, concessions. That is how a movie theater makes their revenue. The movies, not so much. Concessions is about 80% of their revenue. So the movie theaters want to make their monies in the concession stands. These are the facts. These are true. They had a meeting. They're going to work with the CDC about provisions. They're going to revise this about the second week of June. They're going to have conversations about opening up the movie theaters towards the end of June in certain states where they are already opening up businesses. They're going to try a new thing before they start putting out multiple movies. Just do it small. Some movie theaters are already closed their doors and said they're not reopening. They're just going to sell the business. Small town movie theaters that have been there for like 100 years, they're going to just close their doors completely. I know a guy who just sold his movie theater and he's done. He doesn't want to do it anymore. So he's looking to sell the place. I don't think that's the case. What I think is there's a lot that's happening that people are very unaware of, and we have a major problem brewing because of it. People are already getting sick. Listen, society has put all these people in charge and gave them a direction and told them this is where you got to go. This is how you got to move. And it's not worked. It hasn't worked for quite some time. And because of that, everyone around is now doing their own thing. They're got companies now on the brink of rebelling against this lockout because they're seeing other states being allowed to open. These people want to open up. They'll take the risk, whether it's getting sick or whatever, because people are at the brink where this can go on. This thing could only happen for you. You've had people basically at home for like almost 90 days. People are going to go insane and they're going to start treating it like house arrest. And they're going to be just going into a schizoid type of way, especially if you're a business owner. If you're a business owner, you want to open back up. Pay $50 for popcorn. I don't know where you go. Popcorn is almost free. Listen, here's the situation. The movie theater's main job is to entertain you and provide you with the candy, the sodas, all the things that tear you up, but you love it. Ice cream bars. They might raise the prices on concessions, but the thing is you just want people in there buying concessions. If the movie theaters were smart, they would have hired people to come in just to make popcorn and let people come in and purchase popcorn. I don't understand why they didn't do that. A lot of people love to buy movie popcorn. They could have just sold concessions at the door for movie popcorn, especially. If they didn't want to buy like other supplies like ice cream cone bars and things of that nature, then they didn't have to. But you got like the movie theater, like Regal, they just switched from Coca-Cola to Pepsi. They've just done the merger. They was just trying to change the old Coca-Cola pipes out and bringing in the Pepsi. So for the first time in Regal's history, Pepsi is going to be representing them now. I told you that in the business deal beforehand. They're not expecting to, because they're not expecting the movie theaters to be packed. They're going to do a slow release, which having so many people, and you can't be within 6 feet of the other person, just having limited people there. But having limited people there is better than having no people there at all. Some people are thinking, well, we're going to put it at the movie theater, and then in a couple of weeks, we'll put it on digital so we can still make our money. The movie theaters are going to make their money, period, like the film, when they put it on for stream. The movie theaters are just hoping they get enough people in to buy enough concessions so that they can keep doors open. Because the summer is when the blockbuster movies come out. And when the blockbuster movies come out, then that's when you need your movie theaters open. But that's also a very dangerous time because that's when you got many people going to the movie theaters. What's up, Mr. Brown? I see you this morning. Illinois is rising the death toll or the infected toll because Illinois' problem is this. Illinois is trying to get into a war with the president of the United States of America. And the reason why is because we're a Democratic state And we want to make it rough on Donald Trump due to November election. So the longer Illinois holds out, the longer Illinois be disruptive, the longest Illinois can do anything they can to keep the numbers where they are, is even though in certain towns the numbers are low. You're looking at DuPage County and Cook County where the numbers are going up. Why are they going up? Because brothers just don't want to listen. People don't want to listen. They want to do what they want to do. And because they want to do what they want to do, they want to kick it, they want to throw house parties, they thinking ain't nothing finna happen. Plus, JB, he want to stick it to Trump so he can win one and put one up on the Democrat side and just make it difficult for Trump in the White House. But this is the wrong practice to do. So all of a sudden, here come all these new numbers. Right when people are thinking about in the end of June, Illinois should be opening up to a slight open where barbershops, hair and nail salons, and places like that should start to open up. In June, that's going to happen. Now, here's the problem. Certain people might have a problem with it, but certain towns where the numbers are very low, that they're going to get it because those towns are very rich. All of a sudden, they're not faced with that type of problem. They're going to be allowed to open up on June 1st. Now, some other towns is really hurting their businesses, and they're going to just take the penalty. They're going to open up anyway and be like, look, y'all going to have to send the cops over here to shut it down. And the cops over here, they don't give a damn. So the CDC would have to come in and make them shut down. Like somebody would have to rat them out in order for them to shut down. They pick the date and they say by this date, if they don't give us the okay, we just going to take the penalty. So it's a lot of things in development right now. But the worst thing they could have did was open up certain states and let other states be closed. Because it's like saying, you guys get to go to the party in the beach and everybody else got to stay home. And then they get to see everybody kicking it and having a good time. And people wonder why they the hell at home. So it's going to be an anarchy in a couple of weeks. So get ready. Because business has to continue. Trump always looks bad. He does a great job of making himself look bad. But he could do that and still win the election because the people that vote for him are very stupid. And stupid people always run out and vote. And a lot of people are not into politics. That's how basically the Obamas lost the Congress. Once they lost Congress, what do you expect the president to do? He had the House against him and the Congress. They basically own the president now because the blacks didn't go out and vote. I will never say he won't win. I didn't think they would ever put him in the White House. But once he got in, it was like, oh, okay, this whole thing's over. This guy can't even read. He can't answer a question. I mean, it's terrible. That's why they can't put the teleprompters up because he can't read. It's quite obvious. That's why Trump just goes off the cuff. He doesn't have a speech prepared. It's like, well, just go out there and BS, Don. That's all he does. He can never give you an answer to anything if you ask him a question. Well, we've sat down with them and, they've done some things that we won't discuss here, but they know what they done. Can you tell us some more about this Obamagate? Oh, Obamagate. Yeah. Obamagate. Yeah. Well, they did some very dirty things, and it's a lot of things that they've done, in their time, and it's starting to come out now. I saw it; it's making a lot of noise. It was on Twitter. It's trending, and it's a lot of things going on about that. We've had some discussions, and yeah, some things are about to happen about that. We'll get more into that later. Next question. Never answers anything. What do you think about your late response to everything? Why don't you try asking China that? Ask China. No, your answer was nasty. Do you work for fake news? Yeah, it's fake news. I mean, every time he walks out, it's something more moronic, and all he does is upset people. I've never seen a person so divisive in my life, but people root for him. It shows you the mentality that's out there. He fans the wave that make people think it's okay to go out and harm people. You're already in a war with China. No, it will never get to that. You're already in a war with China. You're already in a War 3, and you just don't know it. We're living it. This is World War 3. We're in the middle of it. We're on the front lines, all of us. And oh my God, I'm just so sick of these housewives. Oh, I mean, please let them go back to work. Can we get housewives back to work, please? Because they are burning up Twitter and Facebook. They got to go back to work. I can't take it no more. If another housewife say, "My dear husband, who's on the front lines, he's going to open up his restaurant again, and he risks his life every day going outside." Your husband's not a war victim or warrior going into war, okay? It's like, come on. He's not working in the hospital. He's going to make sandwiches. Like, cut it out. My husband's on the front lines. If I hear that one more time, Jesus Christ. I'm like, he's wearing a mask and gloves and he's ringing people up for items. Right. I've never seen anybody say that about the drivers for UPS. My buddy's a driver for UPS. No, nobody's saying that they on the front lines. They're outside. The postal workers outside. Nobody giving them no nothing. Right. Hospitals now if you going into the hospital where you gotta go through a screening process every day just to go to work, then yeah. And you're dealing with people who are actually sick, yeah. That's the front lines. Going to work at a deli, I wouldn't call that front lines. But people love to play victim, don't they? It's sick. Even in a pandemic, people can't help but play victim. But I'm gonna get out of here because this went from movies to pandemic.